punish.
Really better now than it used to be in terms of, they're already taking courses and they've kind of got a feel for it.
Oh, yeah, they get their feet wet. Get in here and take 6 or 12 hours, whatever it may be in summer. Yeah, that's a big help for the kid.
Is it harder in the summer for them with the increased football workload, but also the intensified class load that you get in the summer?
No, I think it's easier. To go to class. Classes are smaller, more one-on-one teaching. And then as far as football, it's not like we can go out and take them on the field and practice. I mean, there with the strength guys, we could get them out there for 10 or 15 minutes for some movement drills and that kind of thing, and then we turn them loose. And it's 2 days a week. So it's definitely a lot harder in the fall when you're every day you're something with football.
How about for these new guys? It's got to be a lot different once you get into the fall classes and you go into class and you're wearing your team gear and people notice, and when you start to draw that attention, how do you coach those guys up for those situations?
Well, the number one thing, you better be humble and just be like everybody else. Don't stand out because what you just said, they know who you are. Don't embarrass the program, don't embarrass yourself and your family, and go and be a real student. And, we don't want our guys to stand out. I mean, the one thing that we do a little different, we make them sit in the first 2 rows of the classroom, no hats, no hoods, no earphones, none of that stuff on. So, hopefully we stand out for that reason, not the other reasons.
What sort just coming in on that part of the conversation, what sort of lessons maybe or things have you learned over your time working with the student athlete and recognizing that you can coach them as much as you want in here, but they got to get that job done too? What do you tell them?
Well, I mean, there's a balance, and that's why it's so hard in this game right now today to play freshmen. Because they could go for a while. Right now it's just football, and they're confused enough with just football. Then you add going to class, and you're having homework, having papers, having tests, having midterms. It doesn't slow down. It just, their workload keeps increasing because then you add study hall, and they're on a schedule from the time they wake up till they go back to bed at night, and it wears on them, mentally, physically, and this builds up. So that's why it's very hard to count freshmen because they come in without anything.
You talked a couple of weeks ago about what it's like to go into a neighborhood and recruit somebody. You mentioned the student athlete aspect of it. What is the relationship from the time that you meet these guys as high school players to when they leave the program? How much does it grow? How you interact and talk to these guys?
The number one thing is you want to get them when they're young and groom them into a student athlete. It's hard to get a kid that comes in, say a transfer or even a junior college kid that you only have for 2 years. Well, they've learned their habits before they get to you, and it's hard to change that. But when you get a kid that's a true freshman coming in and be able to mold them and make sure that they're in your program for 4 or 5 years, your graduation success is much higher, and probably your productivity too. Not saying that you can't get junior, because we've had great success with them too, but it's a lot easier than you would.
When these kids are maturing in the classroom, do you start to notice a different level of understanding of the playbook and the way that they learn that?
No doubt. And for a perfect example, there's 4 or 5 guys, I think there's 5 right now on our defense that have their degree. Isaiah Bruce, Nick Kwiatkowski, Jared Barber, Terrell Chestnut. Those 4 guys are pretty good players for us. So, and we have probably 6 or 7 more of our seniors that will have their degree in December. Their priorities get straightened out. They understand that we put the expectations out there, and again, put them on a schedule. And everybody talks about your degree, and it's all what you put into it. I don't care what school you're at, if you're known for academics or if people think that you're not known for academics. It's what you put into your degree that you're going to get out of it.
Yeah, a guy like KJ, to be the first spur, basically, as this system comes back to WVU, doesn't really have somebody to look up to and learn the position from, and there's a lot to learn in that one. What have you seen from him that he has been able to take it on and really make it his own this year and a year plus in the system?
I'm sure if you ask KJ, he'd think he had been in the position. He's a hard worker. I love the way the kid plays, and he's got great confidence. He does stuff. There's not a lot of guys out there who've been on the field coaching that can do that. So he's a special player for us. And, he's going to be hard to replace, number one. he's grown in the position. He understands. He's a good blitzer. He can disguise coverage for you. Could lock somebody up for you. He's physical. He's got all the tools. And now that we went back to this and he's our guy, that's where we set our standard. We want that type of kid. Well, it's hard to find. We've been trying to recruit him for 2 years now. It's tough.
Just mentioned his confidence. He's an aggressive player too. What are the qualities, maybe those, that make him good when he goes back to field the punt as well?
He has no fear. I mean, he's fearless. He's very confident in his skills. And, Kid was a state champion in hurdles in Florida. He played great high school football at Popco. So, he's a kid that just has extreme confidence, and I don't think anything really rattles him.